On today's episode of Crushing My Balls for 33 people, we will answer the question of what happens if you put multiple overhaul mods into Baldur's Gate 3. The answer is it's really hard. I'll explain mechanics as we go, because there's a lot.
You may be wondering, why am I on the beach? Why do I have such a snazzy hat? Why am I level 3? Well, let me explain. First, I mess up the recordings of the entire Nautiloid, so it all looks like this. Second question, where'd I get the snazzy hat? Well, it's a quest reward from a mod called AMP, which does a few things. I'll put a link to the spreadsheet in the description, it's far too much to explain, but all you need to know is that it makes it harder, and we're playing on Ultra difficulty. Now why are we level 3? That is because of the Ultimate Suffering mode from the Rise of the Gold Members mod. And I'll just show you what that does. Here, we have Shadowheart going first in combat against the very first combat encounter in the game. Shadowheart hits a Guiding Bolt for 17 radiant damage. Pretty good. She is then mauled to death.
Oh my god.
Just barely we managed to beat the first combat encounter of some of the weakest enemies in the game. But now we have many more resources available to us, so we go around and get all of the experience and non-violent things you can possibly do. After doing everything, we find ourselves in Grimforge, which, surprisingly, is actually one of the first places we can win a combat. Up to this point, every single combat encounter has essentially been a forced load back to a previous save, because everything is faster than us and kills us in one turn. But this guy right here named Goldman is very, very helpful. Due to the decisions of mod creator beyond the grasp of mortal comprehension, he decided to place Goldman the Glorious, a 5,000 health super boss on our side, right next to a combat encounter and Grim. We're not desperate enough to try using him for Grim yet, but it's good to know for the future. We tried beating Grim by ourselves right now, and it did not go well. I want to be clear, we are not at all beyond exploiting. The first of which we will be performing is the Invoke Duplicity Equipment Duplication glitch. This works by creating a clone with a Trickster Cleric and spamming the inventory button really quickly, which allows you to duplicate the item by dragging it onto somebody else's equipment slot. Now everyone in our team has the Guardian's Web equipped in both slots of their inventory, meaning that every single time they hit somebody with a sword or ranged attack, it requires the enemy to make 2 dex saves, and if they fail either, they are webbed. Being level 5 and finally thinking we have some chance at combat, we decided to go beat up some pregnant hyenas.
It's going up the road.
Okay. Good luck, Shadowheart.
So if the detonating pregnant hyena did not clue you in, we did not win this fight. Wanted to maybe try something easier. We wanted to go fight the paladins that try to hunt Karlach, and never mind, there are swords with 500 health blocking the way. These swords are actually a really good thing, and that is because the designer of the Gold Members mod, which is what these swords are from, did not give these swords permanently armed, meaning that we can take the super strong overpowered swords that only the boss is supposed to have and keep it for ourselves.
Yes! 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 Helios bound Blade of the Gilded Order. Shadowheart is fucking dead, but that's okay.
Now for the grand reveal of the item that will let us go through the entire game and make everything super easy. It's worse than my currently equipped weapon. Since we are literally weaker than a pregnant hyena, we thought it would be best to go somewhere else. In this case, the Mountain Pass. The Rise of the Gold Members mod gives you 3 times jump distance out of combat, allowing us to entirely skip the Githyanki patrol and go straight to the Mountain Pass. In the Mountain Pass, everything is actually pretty normal. Well, besides the fact that we can't kill anything. But once we get to the monastery, we find a guy named Goldhorn. Goldhorn has a very important quest for us. If we find someone named Martha and get Goldhorn's girlfriend back, he will give us some sort of reward. Now, how you normally get into the monastery is by going through this window here and fighting the kobolds. That is not an option for us. So, what we were able to figure out is that with the triple jump distance, we can just get into a part of the monastery that we're not supposed to be in yet, and explore around and see what's going on there. We found a genie, doorway to the Githyanki Creche,
Nice.
Oh, I found the Githyanki Creche.
and then we found Martha, who is a 900 health beholder.
Oh, lovely, more tourists. Well, if you're here for the bathhouse, it is closed. That ridiculous gold horn keeps... Shut the fuck up, narrator! She keeps talking! That ridiculous gold horn continues, I am tired of the harassment.
They're hunting you. They want the artifact.
We are here for the gold horn's golden statue. Did you steal it? Why steal a statue from Goldhorn? Steal? That is not a statue, you fools. It's his ex-girlfriend. Goldhorn had me petrify her after their breakup to keep her forever. She is my best coat rack. Leave now. I could say we must take her back to Goldhorn, or this sounds wrong.
Now, obviously, as defenders of justice, we will not let this stand.
Oh, she has a sword called the Clover.
Did she catch you? Did she catch you pickpocketing, Solar? Did she catch you?
Oh, I'm not sure what she did. No, she...
On second thought, we are going to pickpocket the items from her inventory and leave her alone. Going inside the crush, it was, as always, incredibly easy to get access to the vault. Inside the vault, there was remarkably terrible loot, and we completely skipped the fight with Vasht, as it would be entirely impossible. Sneaking past him, getting to the Lathander vault, you could probably see where this is going. We went and grabbed the blood of Lathander and blew up the entire Githyanki crush. With nothing left to do in the mountain pass, we decided to go try out Auntie Ethel's swamp, and miraculously, we actually managed to kill something. A single frog.
Just hit it with magic missile.
Could also be a missile. Thank you.
This may not seem like a massive accomplishment, but morale was at an all-time high, and so we decided to go try something else out. Now, if you think about a food chain, right? We killed a frog. Frogs eat bugs. Bugs eat, like, plants. So we are above plants and above frogs. Now, what eats frogs? Spiders. That's our next target. There's a place in the Underdark where there is a ridiculous amount of spiders. Now, you see, if we start combat with them, they will immediately gain all of the mod stats and be unkillable and slaughter us. But if we're sneaky, we can kill them before they get their stats initialized, meaning that it'll be much easier to kill them all. And as you can see here, we used a fireball and only one was left surviving. Learning the incredible power of spells, especially when used outside of combat, we proceeded to use telekinesis to throw the Dwergar captain's friends off a cliff, and for some reason, he just didn't care. And so, isolating him, it should have been an easy kill.
Oh, he only has a +7 to strength saves.
George Vasht is here.
Oh, fuck.
Needless to say, we had to reload a save, because there is no way we are killing that.
Who the fuck is Doomflame the Hellscourged?
So if we try to kill a boss, some sort of unkillable entity spawns in and slaughters us violently. So, if we can't kill a boss, we can just have someone else kill a boss. In this case, Goldmund. In another incredible design choice by the mod author, Goldmund is right next to Grim, meaning we can have Goldmund and Grim fight each other instead of us having to do anything. What this leads to is an incredibly easy Grim kill. Now, even with our most recent victory, the morale boost of winning fights was starting to go down because it didn't really seem like anything was going to be possible moving forward without extreme amounts of cheese. But I figured out a solution. The AMP mod adds an item called the Training Ring, which allows you to summon something called the Barbalong every short rest. The Barbalong gives a coin, which isn't super important, and also gives 140 experience. This Barbalong is an infinite source of experience points as long as we can keep summoning them. And with the Gold Member's Beauty Sleep, we can infinitely summon Barbalongs and fight them. Really, Goldman was fighting them, but, you know, it's whatever. With this, we were able to get to level 7. Hopefully, enough to kill Auntie Ethel.
When she got snared.
Oh. Awesome.
So, I think...
Styrian, calm down.
2 2s or a 2 and a nat 1.
Oh my god!
You bastard! You ruined it!
What?
You ruined
She's...
everything!
Hold on.
She just killed herself.
I think it's fitting that the first time we're ever able actually to defeat a threat, it just kills itself instantly to take away the joy of killing it. After that, we decided to go try out Bernard's tower, which getting through the tower wasn't actually an issue. And we found an interplanar chest. I have not explained what these are. Essentially, they are chests hidden throughout the entirety of the game by the AMP mod that have a bunch of loot in them. They also have a DC 50 lockpick check, which I think is stupid because they're hidden and they shouldn't be impossible to open unless you save scum anyways, but it's whatever. I don't know. The mod author could do what he wants. Moving up the tower, we went and got rid of the animated armors, and with Bernard by himself, thought it would be a good idea to try and fight him as boss. Everyone meet Takara. What does Takara do, you might ask?
I think we're all gonna die.
Oh.
That's right, when you end your turn, you take anywhere from 1 to 100 radiant damage. In Shadowheart's case, she took 72, I think. I don't know what the math is. Now, obviously, this makes the fight essentially impossible. Taking that much damage per turn, not even from enemy attacks, it's impossible. So how do we fix it? We reload the save. Only problem, Takara can time travel. She went back to the save where she did not exist previously, and she is now there, and we need to run away. In which we can't. So what do? Load an earlier save. What does Takara do? Time travel to that save as well. And finally, using telekinesis to throw Bernard down onto the bottom floor of this tower, and then pulling him back up to a lantern where he drops again, taking fall damage and finally dying. Now I'm sure there's at least one nerd wondering, if we're level 6, how did we use telekinesis? That is because of Gilded Gateway spells added by the Gold Members mod. This gives us access to things that we would not have beforehand. Now it is limited. We don't have access to every spell in the game, unfortunately. Which, something like telekinesis, which you don't have until level 7, we were able to use before level 7, which is obviously quite helpful, as is the only reason that we beat Bernard. Our next target was Little John, a massive earth elemental hiding away in the corner of the map. Combat with him was certainly difficult, but we managed. You know who we didn't manage combat with? Omni-Man.
And then
Wait,
yeah.
they lost their sponsor because of that.
Did they actually?
I don't. They might keep it.
They
it might just
didn't
be,
they didn't get hypnotized, but yeah, I'm gonna walk Shadowheart.
Oh shit.
No, that's fine.
Oh, fuck. No, he's here.
Who's here? Is that fucking
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man? Okay,
It
it's
is.
fine. He can't.
He's got aura farming.
What?
He has an effect called aura farming.
Under normal circumstances, Omni-Man appearing anywhere near you is not a good thing. But he's actually surprisingly weak. His whole gimmick is that if he doesn't take damage for 3 turns, he will attack something, dealing 75% of its maximum health. This actually makes him quite weak, because you could just hit him with ranged attacks, and then he does nothing, letting us beat him to death after we killed Little John. Unfortunately, I did die. Now why is this a problem, you may ask? Well, that's because Rise to the Gold members requires gambling for you to be powerful. What does that actually mean? There's an item called Lustral Gold. First time you drink it, nothing can go wrong. Second time you drink it, 50% chance all of your gilded buffs are removed. Third time drinking, 75%. These buffs are also random, meaning that you have to roll endlessly and save scum endlessly in order to get what you want. Under normal circumstances, there'd be no reason to do this. But because of how insanely difficult everything is, we are required to. I think at least a quarter of all of my recordings over these 45 hours of gameplay are either me or Solar rolling potions. And now I have to roll potions because I died. After a lot of time off camera rolling because I do not have the storage space on my computer to film all that, I ended up with a pretty good amount of buffs. As well as I did some Barbalong farming, and everyone is now level 8. And so, surely, being level 8 we can win some sort of combat encounter. So going down to where the hook horrors are, and we were completely and utterly decimated. At this point, we had been playing the game for at least 30 hours, and patience was wearing thin, so we decided to pull out the big guns. We're using a technique called polydom. It is where you polymorph someone, cast Dominate Beast on them, and then confuse the game to add them to your party. We did this on Sovereign Spa. Sovereign Spa, now being in our party, means that we are able to revive almost any corpse in the game and have that corpse as an ally. This obviously breaks a lot of things under normal circumstances. We are not under normal circumstances. Do not think that this gives us some sort of super overpowered ability to just obliterate the game. And who better to get as an ally than Lord Reginald Weberton III? He is a traitor at the very start of the game that I didn't mention, but he was in the footage, so you probably saw him. He's not the strongest in the world, but he has a lot of health. Now, with Weberton in tow, and us being level 8, and having Sovereign Spa on our team, here comes the legendary question. Are we able to beat the people in Grimforge and get the gnomes out of the cave? The answer is no. No, we still were not able to. And that hurt me a lot. We spent a lot of time kind of preparing, and I thought it would be like a cool battle, and they bent us over a park bench. It was bad. And so, what is there to do but level up more? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't barb along farm. I just used a spell, used it from a mod that increased the level. I did use it at the start for bug fixing something. We just still had it installed because uninstalling mods is really scary for some reason. It can break a lot of things. And then finally, at level 12, can we beat the level 4 combat encounter? That is the question. And the answer is yes. The answer is very much yes, because we're level 12. We are level 12, and it is a level 4 combat encounter. I don't think it goes without saying. We also downloaded Mistress Spells at this point. We didn't have that downloaded before. And me as a wizard with 26 intelligence because of the gilded buffs, it was a complete slaughter. But I know you're all waiting. The real battle. Those pregnant hyenas are still alive and still pregnant. Definitely not the resounding victory we were looking for. But there's 2 more acts, and hopefully they don't take 50 hours to beat. Join me in the next video for when we beat Act 2.